for Sarah.
Hello. I
Hey,
am
Sarah.
here. What's
Welcome.
up?
Well,
The ceiling?
actually some decorations because
Oh,
it's my
nice.
middle daughter's birthday. She turned
Nice.
26 today. So quick happy birthday
Happy
shout out
birthday.
to Katie. And she
Nice.
loves lattes.
Okay,
So
then
so
this
this
one's
is
for her.
this is this is
Great.
this is this is really inspirational. Already I'm feeling a tear
Awesome.
welling up. So as I said, I'm not actually at Youth for Christ today. I'm at my home today. I was doing a little bit of sod work. I don't know if you can see it through the window, but
No.
backyard was covered in mud. Used to have a pool. That's gone. Woo! But if you're wondering what YFC London is, it stands for Youth for Christ London, and that's London, Ontario, just close to outside of Port Huron, United States, which I say that intentionally because we have someone that may be from south of the border. Let's welcome Sarah. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, Sarah, you come from south of the border. Whereabouts do you come from?
I do, from Pennsylvania to be exact.
That's awesome. All right.
Yes.
Well, have I been to Pennsylvania? I don't think I've ever been, or I might have driven through the tip of
Really?
it, but I don't know that I've actually ever been.
It's not that far away.
No.
Awesome.
I'll have to check it out when they finally let me cross the border again. We'll
Yep.
see.
Yeah, you
So
will.
maybe 2022.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Who knows?
So Sarah is stuck with us forever because she's not allowed to go home. She is now officially Canadian due to COVID-19. So thank you, Sarah, for coming to Canada at the right time.
At the right time. Yep.
Yes,
Perfect
because
timing.
yeah. So we're so glad that you're with us and everything has settled in. Well, Sarah joins the team working with our cafe, Cafe Connect, and she brings to us a bit of a talent. But before we get to know Sarah too much further, we're going to ask her our lightning round question. So, Sarah, are you ready?
I hope so.
Okay. Well,
Maybe. We'll
you're gonna
see.
give the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay,
Okay.
as I ask you
Yep.
these questions. All right. Here
Okay.
we go. September or May?
September.
Okay. So you're a fall person. All right. Favorite song?
I have too many to choose one.
You got to pick one.
Want You Back by Haim.
Want you back?
Check him
How's it
out.
go? Could you sing it for us?
No.
Okay. Thought I'd try. Your favorite superhero?
Superman.
All right. Is that just because that was easy, or is that actually your favorite superhero?
No, he's actually my favorite.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Coffee or latte?
It depends on the day, but I usually drink more coffee than lattes.
Okay.
But
Is
I
that
like
because
making lattes.
is that because of price, or just not so much dairy?
Just yeah,
Sorry,
not so much dairy.
it's lightning round.
Different. This is lightning round. Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
Dream destination.
For what? Like to live for a wedding?
Yep. Dream destination. First thing comes to mind.
Anywhere with the ocean.
Okay. iPhone or Android?
This is tricky because I came from an Android family, but now I have an iPhone. So they might
And
not like me for this,
that's okay.
but I'm choosing iPhone.
Family should go through all types of weathering and storms, and so that's
Okay,
fine.
this is
Yeah,
fine.
you be you, you be you. All
All
right,
right.
Zoom or Facebook Messenger?
It depends on the group or what I have. If I have a phone, I'm not good at the lightning rounds. If I have a phone, I prefer Facebook Messenger.
Okay,
Laptop, Zoom.
okay, okay, that makes
They
sense.
have their qualities. They both have qualities. Good
Yeah,
both.
no, true that. Okay,
Yeah,
I can appreciate that. So,
thank you.
Sarah, you seem to be somewhere. Where are you right now?
I am in Cafe Connect.
Okay, what
Yes.
exactly is Cafe Connect? What do you got sort of around you? It looks like there's some kind of a tool right in front of
Just one tool. I have a
you.
whole espresso machine here in front of me and
Okay.
a coffee grinder.
Oh, yeah. Would that be two
I
tools
have
or is
many tools.
okay?
I haven't counted, but it's
I,
many
s-
tools.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected.
Yes.
Could you, while we do this interview, because I know that you come from the barista field, could you
hmm
be making us a latte? And I want some real fun latte art.
Okay.
Okay. So could you make us a latte for all of us on Instagram to enjoy a little bit later? And then as you're doing that, because normally a person would do their order, right? And then you would
Right.
be
Yeah.
brewing it up, and then you'd be chatting.
Yes.
All right. So
There are some points that will be a little loud,
okay,
so
that's
bear with
fine.
me. I have the grinder going at one point, and on the steam wand at another. She'll be a little loud. So,
Okay, I'll get you to repeat.
okay. Maybe. We'll see if I can.
So we're curious here. What got you into coffee and becoming a barista in the first place?
I mean, honestly, at the time, I just needed a job.
Okay.
And this coffee shop in the town I lived in was just opening. So I decided to give it a shot, and they welcomed me in. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. That is loud.
Yep. I warned you.
Am I sitting
There's
right on?
one of the two.
Are
One
we
of the two
sitting?
loud things.
Are we
So,
sitting right on top of the grinder right now?
no, you're on a bunch of rolls of tape,
Oh, sweet.
actually, next to the
Sweet.
grinder.
Sweet. So
Yeah.
we got a quick question for Justin here. He's just wondering, is it okay to dislike coffee?
I'm gonna have to pray about that one,
Okay.
but I think for Justin, it's okay. If he
Yeah.
likes tea or something,
Does he?
yeah. I don't know.
I
Justin, do you
guess
like
I
tea?
Justin, do you like tea or what's your hot drink? And we'll see what he says there. Because
I told you.
yeah, that is. You're right. You're totally right. So, what is kind of the favorite thing you like about being a barista? You said you like lattes, doing the lattes, making them. What is about that
I
you like?
do. Um, well, the art of it, for one. And then there's also a community aspect of coffee and just like a cafe culture. So
Okay,
I like the community building and all that stuff. So yeah,
nice, nice. And I'm just kind of curious. So Justin's saying he likes Bengal spice tea. I have no idea what that is.
I have no clue what that is
All right.
either. So
Oh, are you doing the pour right now?
yeah, do you want me to not
No, do it. I want to see
do
it.
it?
Yeah, do the pour.
Okay,
Let's see it. Yeah. Well, that
all
was
right.
quick. So here's the thing. I guess Starbucks can make these faster than they do, but maybe they're
This
not.
one's not that great. Let me do another one because I
Okay.
stopped to ask you.
Oh, sorry.
So
Yeah, my bad.
so
My
it's
fault.
all good.
Yeah, that was my bad.
I should have just done it. I shouldn't have listened to you.
Yeah, just next time, ignore me. I'm just the
Okay,
customer. Customers are always right, except for when they're not.
except for when they need to be ignored. Then,
Exactly.
yep.
Because customers can also throw something at you as a barista. Does it ever get confusing? I mean, I see the baristas that are just like going so hardcore when so many orders and people are lining up. How do you keep that all in mind? Like, how do you remember all the different drinks and all the things to do?
So, well, the shop I worked at, we placed all of the receipts out. It was a bit unorganized, but we had paper all along, and you
Okay.
just worked at whatever one. You had one person at the bar at the machine at a time, and you just
Okay.
punched through all of them, as many as you could.
And you basically just try to keep your head on the receipt and not be thinking about what you just did or are about to do. Because
I
I
mean,
would think there's so many different mixes of drinks, right? There's so many different flavor shots and
right. I think
different types of milk.
it depends. Yeah, different types of, it depends on your personality, I think. If you can see what you need to make and then engage the customer as well, that's like that's that's a good barista there. If you can
Hmm.
remember, I mean,
So when I just distracted you and you messed up the latte
I'm
art,
not a good
does
barista
that
right
mean
now.
you've been out of
That means I'm out of
practice?
practice.
In all
Yeah,
fairness, yes.
yeah,
I mean, I've been yeah, messing with you at this point. So
yeah.
and you've been
I should
doing
have had someone talk to me earlier when I was practicing.
so my question for you on that, like what have you been doing lately? So you came to sort of work in the cafe and use that as a connection with youth, but you've been working on some other things as of late that doesn't have a lot to do with latte art. What have you been doing the last couple of weeks?
Right. I've been involved in the cafe right now is doing food deliveries to
Okay,
those in need throughout the city of London. So I've been here
okay,
prepping meals and whatnot. So that's basically what I've been up to. That's not
okay.
involving coffee. I still
So
make my coffee at home, but
okay, yeah, we saw that in the video. We saw that
yep,
you take about 2 hours roughly.
yeah,
Would that be right? 2 hours to make a cup of coffee?
approximately, yeah. It
Yeah.
depends on the roast.
So you roast the beans first? And then grind?
I roast them myself. Yeah.
Are you serious?
No.
I was gonna say.
No.
I've heard of guys that put them in like those popcorn makers
Yes.
and
That. Yep.
crack them and then make their own bean roast. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I have heard of that. I know someone that started that way.
Okay, so my goal here right now is just to simply distract you to see if I can mess up your latte art again.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's really my objective. And oh no, I wanted low fat.
Oh, well, I don't know what this is actually. Y'all have different milk here
Probably
than I
y'all
do.
y'all
Yeah,
do. Okay.
I got a little heart. This is
Let's see
not
it.
doing.
Can you pull the camera down? Can I see it? I can't see
It's
it.
not.
Ah,
It's
ladies and
not that
gentlemen,
great.
there's a love for you. There's a love for you. I'm
I
thinking
had
with
a
that
man. I
that
had a better picture earlier. My
I think
practice rounds. You gotta come into the cafe for the real thing. This
I'm
isn't the
thinking
real
that's
thing.
it. I'm thinking that's it. Once we
Yeah.
get to where we can open the cafe again, you will see Sarah working hard, doing up lattes and art, and we look forward to that day where we can just connect and just hang out there. So, question for you. I mean, I just heard you say
Mhm.
y'all, right? And
Yeah, I don't
so
normally say that.
no, it's all right. So we do get you're south of the border and you're from Pennsylvania. Is it
Yes.
true, like just like everyone in Canada lives in an igloo, is it true that everyone in Pennsylvania rides in a horse and buggy?
Actually, yes. We all drive horse and buggies. I'm still learning how to
Okay.
drive a car.
Well, I noticed that, and you keep stopping every once
You
in a while
noticed
to,
that?
and you keep stopping every once in a while to scoop, and it's like you don't have to do that with a
Just
car.
you.
That's just with a horse.
Oh, you
So,
don't? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah, it burns right into the atmosphere. So
Mm,
yeah. No, that's
okay.
so good. No, I'm very
Yeah.
impressed with all the horses because you've got more horses, right? That's called horsepower. That's in a car. So
Mhm.
you've got several horses in
I've
that
got
thing. So
several. Yep.
yeah, good for you. Well, I'm
Thank you.
glad you confirmed that. And are you enjoying your igloo so far in Canada?
So far, it's a bit chilly,
Yeah,
but it's okay.
it's hard to get used to. It's hard to get used to, but you will. Now, another question here. How did you get to have so many siblings?
My parents adopted,
Okay, so how
so
many are in your family altogether?
altogether, minus my parents, there's 13 of us.
Wow. And they
Yep.
adopted everybody.
No, they adopted 9.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep, 9
So
and
what
then
was
4.
so what was that like growing up with so many siblings?
Well, I mean, they didn't all come at once.
Oh no? So it wasn't like Insta
No,
13?
nope.
Okay,
No,
so it's
it was
not
very, very spread out. So it was,
okay.
it was good. I mean, my oldest brother is 9 years older than me, I believe. So he's like
Okay.
37 something.
Okay. Okay, so about my age.
And then yeah, exactly. And then my youngest sibling just turned 2 a few days ago. So,
Okay. Oh wow, they
not
are
all at the
spread out
same
then.
time.
Okay.
Yep.
So would having a younger sibling that's two be part of the reason why you came to Canada?
No, not at all. I didn't live with them. I
Okay.
visited almost daily, but
Yeah.
not.
Nice.
No.
Well,
I love
that's
them. They're all great.
that sounds like a very, very busy household.
It is not a lot of quiet time.
Yeah, yeah. So what would you say growing up in a household like that, what would be a time that you would say was the biggest learning moment for you?
Oh,
And what would that learning have been?
gosh. I
I
don't
didn't
know if
I
I
didn't
can
forewarn you on
pinpoint.
this one, but
No, you
yeah.
didn't. I
No.
don't know if I can pinpoint one singular moment, but something I learned is to just take everyone the way they are,
Hmm.
to accept everyone the way they are, and not try to change the way they're being or anything like that. Just accept them
Okay.
the way they are and with the backgrounds that they've had. So,
Hmm. Yeah, because there
yeah.
would be probably a very diverse background from every child that
Hmm.
was adopted,
Yeah.
right? A different
Yeah.
story for each person, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why you're such a loving, compassionate, kind-hearted person.
Wow. Thank you, James. That's so
You
nice.
are. No, I've seen that. You're very intentional. You're very connected and present with the person that's in your midst,
Hmm.
and you don't judge. I've seen that. Because there's lots of things that
Thank
you
you.
could judge any one of us on this team about, and
Yeah.
you don't. You just keep encouraging and praying for us, and it's so good.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Growing up with that size family definitely helped that. Um,
Hmm.
my family started doing foster care actually when I was 8 years old. So
Okay.
we had had kids in and out, just different situations.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I've been learning that since roughly 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
So
So did they foster and adopt, or did they foster to adopt? Like, was it
um,
sort of a both end, or?
it started with a foster to adopt, and they were
Yeah.
just, my parents were just very open with whatever happened.
Hmm.
If the, like it, in the foster care system, certain children become able to adopt. Not
Gotcha.
all of them are put in and with the intention of adoption. A lot of them are actually have an intention to go back
Gotcha. Yeah.
to their blood relatives, which isn't always the best situation.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
So how many different individuals then? So there's 13 of you in your family. How many different
yeah.
individuals would there be if you were to include everyone that was foster brother, foster sisters at any given time? If you
Three
add them.
three of them are siblings.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
cool.
and yeah, two of them are twins, and then they have a half sister.
Oh, cool.
So, and that's the only sibling group that we adopted.
That's
Everyone
awesome.
else was single.
And then the number of youth or children that came in that were fostered but not adopted, that went back to their home, how many would you guys have had in your home?
Mm, I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know the number.
I'm
Um,
I'm constantly amazed by the foster parents' hearts and the families that
yeah,
sort of,
it
because I mean, talk about pivoting. It's
yeah
just constant change.
it takes a special person for sure to
Hmm.
be able to love a child that isn't your own. I
Yeah.
think is a huge thing. So
Hmm. Yeah, and make that child your own.
yeah, and
And
like
and
and
that
truly love them as much as you love your kids that are your
yeah.
own.
Yeah, and not neglect your kids for some of the special needs that might come into the home, but
Right.
it's such a
It's a balance for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Wow. So my next question, there might not actually have been a biggest challenge because you by just what you've already described, you've been a person who through a lot of life has always been pivoting and changing and adjusting. But
Hmm.
what would you say if there was sort of a challenge, the biggest challenge you've experienced since COVID-19?
I think feeling stuck at home, like I'm
Mm,
supposed to stay at home. I'm not a fan of that. I like being at home and staying at home, but
mm-hmm.
when it's my choice
Mm.
to stay home. If someone's telling me to stay home, I don't want to be there anymore.
Mm.
Like
Is it a little bit weird having a foreign government tell you what to do?
a
The
little
thought,
bit,
the
but
thought
it
just kind of hit
helps.
me. Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit, but it helps that like the states are in the same
that's
predicament
true.
as well, getting pretty much the same, except they're still allowed, well, Pennsylvania is still allowed to have groups of 10
Okay.
together. That's the only
Well, I heard,
different thing that
uh,
I've noticed.
yeah, I heard that horses can't transfer COVID, so I think it's a little
Oh, okay,
safer.
so they're counting the horses in that.
I think so.
Oh, okay,
And
that makes
and
sense.
and aren't the buggies a little bit wider? So you can keep that
Maybe.
6 foot
True,
distance
true, true.
maybe. Yeah. So there's probably
Hmm.
there's something there, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's got to be. I'll have
Yeah.
to ask my mom.
And see, because we live in igloos here, it lasts longer. So that's the challenge. Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the things that you're saying with coming in the cafe was that whole thing of connection. What kind of excites you about this whole baristaing and connecting with youth? What has sort of motivated you to even consider coming to Cafe Connect, working with youth in London, um, and baristaing? I'm just curious the connection.
Mm. Well, I think it was it took some time, I think, to figure out what God was calling me to do. And first, it was, work with youth, and
Hmm.
then discovering what that looked like. So I was a youth leader for a decent time, and then I just had the feeling of like something more. There was something else that needed to fit in there, and then I started working at the coffee shop that I was at for 3 years before coming here.
Okay.
And then still kind of, and then I was still a youth leader, but I was still like, how can I put these together? Because I'm now learning that I carry the same passion for these two different things.
Mm.
So I think God was slowly saying, like, you're going to figure out a way. I'm going to show you a way to put these together. So I think that is what is coming together now.
Okay.
And with like the coffee atmosphere, coffee is such a tool. Like, we can use coffee to bring people together. It's an
Hmm.
easy thing to just grab a cup of coffee, have something warm in your hand, and people just start opening up.
Mm.
Conversations start opening up, generally. And um, Jesus is a likable person, right? People liked being around him.
Hmm.
And I think, like, he created a certain kind of atmosphere that drew people in.
Mm.
And for us, or for me, I think coffee helps create that atmosphere in a sense.
Yeah.
It helps, uh, yeah, it helps just balance it and create that kind of atmosphere, a similar atmosphere that he carried,
Mm.
where everyone feels welcomed, everyone feels equal. It's just, yeah.
That's
Does
so
that make
good.
sense?
Yeah,
That
that
makes
totally
sense?
does.
Okay.
That totally does.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I know in our earlier conversations, definitely, um, your love connection with God through Jesus and just being a Jesus follower. I think that's one thing people can get confused when they hear Youth for Christ. They got all sorts of conjured images of these Bible thumpers,
Hmm.
hellfire, brimstone preachers. Not who we are. We don't wear
No.
billboards and preach condemnation on anybody. It is about community. It is about
Hmm.
connection. It is about that unconditional love and acceptance. And
Yeah.
again, where I saw you seeing just a natural connect of coffee. And it's funny because that was always kind of my dream. And even why I wanted to see a cafe started at YFC was
Yeah.
those for those exact reasons. I mean, you worded it a lot better than I would have. But it's that connection, because that's anytime that I've
Yeah.
been with a young person, a cup of coffee, you can talk about some of the, I'm trying to think of a proper word, hardships, hard times
Hmm.
of life.
Yeah.
Not the words that they would share with me, different adjectives, but it's that it just all of a sudden opens up. Or a person that won't
Yeah.
talk when they go out, when I first started youth ministry, Tim Hortons was all there was. All these cafes didn't
Nice.
exist, but they were very commercial, right? So it felt very,
Hmm.
very cold. You couldn't get intimate, and that's what I love about the cafes is you can get very personal and very connected. But youth would still open
Yeah.
up, even though there'd be a crowd around us. They'd still talk because they were just looking for, will someone listen? And that coffee just brought the barrier down so that they could talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of weird how it does that, actually. It's kind of
Hmm.
hard to try to figure out how to explain why it does that. Like, why
Yeah.
just bringing a cup of coffee into it can make people that much more comfortable. Is
Yeah.
it the comfort of it, the familiarity of it?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, just so you want to know anything from me, cup of coffee gets it out. I'll tell you
Awesome.
anything.
I'll
I'll tell
remember
you.
that.
I'll tell you anything.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the confidential stuff about everybody that's listening right now, I'll tell you all of it.
Awesome.
Just a cup
Okay.
of coffee. Yeah.
Good to know.
Not true. All right. So I do have one other thing, but I'm not sure if this will work because I was thinking you could show me how you would brew a coffee and set up a coffee with a V60, because I know a lot of people got
Oh,
V60s and stuff
yeah.
like that. And I've got my V60 that you could sort of walk through proper ways on, because I know it's very particular. Um,
Hmm. It's
how?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't actually own a V60. I
Okay.
brew with a Chemex, but
Oh,
it's a similar brew
a,
method.
a Chemex.
Yes, a Chemex, a Chemex, a
So what?
Chemex,
So,
whatever
so
you want
when
to
you're
call
so
it.
when you're so when you're brewing with that, what are some of the tips, the tricks to get that perfect? Because everyone's got their thing, right? Everyone's got their what
Yeah.
are your suggestions, recommendations when brewing that perfect cup of coffee using a Chemex, which I
Mm.
think is somewhat similar to the V60. I think just a different
Hmm.
amount of grind you would put in. Um, but what would you
Yeah.
say would be the specific tricks or things we should
Yeah.
do to make that perfect? Get the real taste.
I don't think I have any tricks necessarily, but the grind size is very important. Also, I wouldn't get pre-ground for this brew method. at
Yeah.
all. You'd want whole bean and grind it yourself.
So what grind? Do you do a fine grind? Do you do medium? Do you do
It,
coarse?
it would be medium to coarse.
Medium to coarse. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then your water temperature matters. How fast you're brewing matters.
So the
You don't
water
want to brew too
temperature,
fast or
because
too slow.
my hot water kettle thing, it's got options on it for like teas. It doesn't
Okay,
tell
yeah,
me
teas are all
temperatures.
different temperatures.
So because it says I've got white tea, I've got oolong tea, black tea, green tea, French press. Would I use the French press for doing it, or is that not the right temperature?
I
Like
don't know. Have you tried pushing it and seeing what number it reaches to? Like, can you see a number at
it
all?
doesn't give me a number. No, it just has
Um,
buttons to push.
oh, okay. That's weird.
Hmm.
Mine has, you can set it to go up to a certain temp
Oh,
and
okay.
hold it there and it shows you the temp. So,
Okay. You got one of those special little small pour things too, don't you?
yes, a gooseneck kettle is also important for pouring a
Okay.
Chemex or V60.
So that's probably what I need to do is get a gooseneck
Yeah,
kettle.
yep,
Okay.
I would invest.
So if any of my daughters are watching now or later, and the two that just came in, I need a gooseneck kettle for my birthday or for Christmas. That's to get that perfect cup of coffee. That's awesome. Sarah, do you have any final words that you would like to give us as a barista in London? Do you have any words of encouragement that you would like to send to people as they journey through the COVID journey?
Uh, I would say just stay connected to people. Don't go it alone. Stay
Hmm.
connected, drink your coffee, go on some Zoom calls, you know? Don't go alone.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is hard. I'm looking forward to seeing how things start opening up in Ontario.
Hmm.
Some announcements today and tomorrow. This week we'll start seeing what sort of that first phase and stage is going to be looking like.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that that allows us to even do some social coffee connects. That would be an
Yeah.
amazing opportunity just to
Yeah, that would be
to
really cool.
to get together. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
awesome. Well, Sarah, thank you. I'm so glad that you
Yeah, of
came
course.
to London. I'm so glad that you joined the
Thank
YFC
you.
team. And folks, I hope that as we go through this journey of COVID-19 and as things start opening up, there'll be an opportunity for you to get to know
Hmm.
Sarah, try some of her lattes and her latte art and her coffees. She looks forward to connecting with you as well and creating community together. But thanks again,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yeah, of
and
course.
have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.
Thank you. You as
All
well.
right. All right. Take
Bye.
care.